Let your people vote. Let your people vote. Or not. On Joomla articles. Brought to you by mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Head on over to mysites.guru and get a free site audit for it. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Maintenance Monday number 301 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work in Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even just sketch out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Okay, today we're going to look at the voting plugin. It's part of the core Joomla, Joomla 3, Joomla 4, Joomla 5. We're going to see the Joomla 5 site in just a second here. It's got some settings that we're going to look at, and I'm going to try to break them down in a way that doesn't get too confusing. I've already given up twice making this video, but I think I've got it together now. Let's turn our attention to the screen and check out voting on Joomla. Okay, here we are in the back end of that Joomla 5 site, like I said. First of all, we're going to enable the voting plugin. We'll go to System, Plugins. We're going to filter for Vote. There's the plugin. We could just enable it here, but we'll go here and we'll see we have a couple settings. When you go in here the first time, number of votes will be hidden. This actually is not working in Joomla 5 right now. They're not showing up on any articles anywhere that I can see, but we'll turn it on for now. And we can choose position for the voting information and the opportunity to vote, either at the top of your article or at the bottom. And so over here in status, we will go enabled. And also just want to say, by enabling this plugin, we're creating 4 new options that you can use in menu items for the order of sorting articles. Ascending and descending by vote, and descending and ascending by the rating. So the average rating of all of the votes. All right, so having done that, the next thing we want to do is set a default or a global setting. And we do that in Content, Articles, and we're going to go to Options. Now, under the Articles tab here, we're going to go down to Voting, and we're going to either have it default to on or default to off. If you're going to use voting in more articles than not, set it to show, and then you can turn it off in different places. I'll show you how to do that. If you're going to use voting on fewer articles than the ones that you're going to use voting on, then pick hide, and then you can turn on voting for the lesser number of articles. And like I said, we'll see how to do that. All right, so we're going to save, and we're all set here. Now, next I want to show you that you can individually in the article settings override what's happening globally. Let's go to Content, Articles, and we'll go to Test. Now, let's preview that page. And you'll see there is no voting information or opportunity to vote there. That's because we have it hidden by the global setting. We go into that article, we'll go to Options, scroll down, and here we go to Voting. You see the global is hide. We're going to select Show to override that. For this article, we'll save it, go, and we'll refresh. And now there is the rating and also the opportunity for us to vote. Let's just rate it right now. Here we go, 5 stars. Now the next thing we're going to see is how to further customize when or not the voting information or opportunity appears in different places on your Joomla site. And to do that, we're going to look at some different menu item types. Let's start with a category list menu item, which is what this blog link is currently. When we click on that, we see a list of articles assigned to the category blog, and we're seeing a list view here. Now, let's take a look and change some settings on that menu item. Let's go back to articles here. Now remember, this article is set for voting to show, which is not what the global setting is. The global setting is to hide. We're going to close this. We'll go to menus, all menu items, because I'm filtering by blog. And when we go in here, we'll go to the Options tab. All right, so we're in Category List and Blog. We go to the Options tab. We go down to Voting, and the global is set to Hide. We're going to set it to Show, and we will save. Now, when we go back here, if we click on the test article, we know voting is going to show because the article itself is set to show. But if we click on any of these other articles, will we see voting or not? Yes, we see voting, because through this category list menu item, we set voting to say, yes, we want to see voting for all of the articles that are in that category. Now watch this though. If we go back to blog for a second here, if we go back to close here, and then we go back to content and articles to our article that's titled test, and scroll down to voting, we can go down here and say, oh no, I don't want voting. We can hide it. Go save, go back here. Now watch. We click test. There is no voting there, but we go back to welcome to your blog, and there is voting. And so you have to figure out this little dance of settings between the article and the different menu types. Now, while we're here, let's also look at this view. Because earlier we saw in articles where we set global options that you could actually show the number of votes in a list and the rating. To do that, we're going to close. This gets a little bit detailed, but stick with me here. We're going to go to all menu items, back to that category list item, and now we're going to go to list layouts. And when we scroll down, we can show the votes in the list. Let's say hide. And we can show the ratings in the list. Now there's global settings. That was back in the options in the article manager. But we will actually I want to go show and show for both of those. Save. We'll go back to this page and refresh. And now look, there's the number of votes each article has received and the average rating. Next, let's look at the category blog menu item. Let's go back to the menu here. And we're going to change the type. Instead of category list, we'll go select. We will go to articles, and we're going to go category blog. The category we select will still be the blog category again. And now we can go to options. Under options, we'll go down here to voting, and it's still showing set to show, which is not what the global set is. And so we will save that. Let's go up and we'll refresh this URL because it's going to give us a different type now. And now we see for every article in the category that menu item is also overriding the global setting, and the voting information is there. Now, in this blog view, we only see the rating, the number of stars each article has gotten. We can't vote here. But if we scroll down and click on Welcome to your blog, we can vote for that article here. But watch this. If we go back to the blog page and click on this test here, this article titled test, we can't vote. Because in that article, we said to hide voting. But notice, even though voting is hidden in this article, its rating still shows up in this category blog view. If you don't want that rating to show because you've turned voting off for that article, there's a special setting in the content blog menu item that you can select. Let's go back to that menu item. In options, we're going to go down to voting, and we're going to select use article settings. That is going to let the blog view take the information and the cues from each article's settings for voting. We'll select that, go save, we'll go back to this blog page and watch. We hit refresh, and now there is no rating there. But the voting information will show for any of the other articles if they have individually been set to show the voting option or information. Now let's look at one more menu item, the single article menu type. We'll go back here and we're going to change the menu type. We'll go select, articles, single article this time. The single article we want to select is this test article. And now we can go to options and we're going to go down here and we're going to go voting. We're going to say show. We'll save. We'll go and refresh this URL. And we see now voting is showing. However, remember, in the article itself, we chose voting to not show. So this is a unique case where the menu item wins over what the article setting is. The category blog menu item and the category list menu item submit it to the setting in the article, but the single article menu item trumps the setting in the single article. I know that's a lot to take in a short time, and even in my head, some of it's still jumbled together when I start to review it. But the fact of the matter is that you can let your visitors vote or not vote on certain articles in your Joomla site, and you'll be able to finesse all the settings to control where and where not they can vote. Subscribe for more videos. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.